So yesterday was a good day, covered a lot of ground, but ended not so great with the incident at the Motel 6 in downtown Tallahassee, which we don't need to get into other than to say today is a new day. Look where I am. I am heading down into the peninsula of Florida today, so I'm actually already into it, I think. So yeah, gonna do hopefully some interesting stuff. There's an old abandoned hotel that I found online that I'm gonna try and find, and I'm hoping to see some manatees today. That would be cool. So I've made my way to Perry, Florida, or actually just outside of Perry, Florida. This is kind of the ruins of an old hotel that I had heard about that was, I guess, a resort back in maybe late 40s, early 50s, that was kind of a health spa and had these sulfur springs set up. And I guess the whole thing burnt down in 54, I think, if I remember right. It's called Hampton Springs Hotel, and this water in here, you can smell it. It's got a sulfur smell to it, so used to have, or people would say it had healing properties. I guess if you were into it, you could probably take a dip in there right now, and it's probably cheaper than it was in 1954 when people used to come and stay here. Apparently the hotel had about 70 rooms and was kind of a big deal, and it all went away in a fire. As far as the ruins go, there's not a ton here other than the old pools. I don't know where a 70-room hotel sat, to tell you the truth. But I think the best thing about this place was finding it. I got a little bit lost. GPS took me out way farther than I needed to. And I met a couple guys, I think their names were Carney and Keith, I think. And they had another little man with them who were out turkey hunting. And they taught me some stuff about what they had done this morning. So it was pretty cool. And super nice guys. And thanks for their help finding this place. And even more so, thanks for the turkey hunting lesson. Ran into these guys here. They're out turkey hunting this morning, I guess. You just wrapped up for the day, or?
I'm done. I'm good.
And here's the prize. What's a bird like this weigh? Any idea?
Probably in between 15 and 18 pounds, probably. And you go listen for him to gobble or find a track or something. You know, find out that he's in the area, and then just first thing in the mornings they'll gobble on the limb. That's how you know where they're at, and then you can go in there on him.
What time in the morning do you head out to do this?
When you hunt in state land, you got to get in there before everybody else does. So
Yeah.
I was there by 6 o'clock this morning in place, ready, listening for him. And I killed him at 9:45.
How far in do you go?
I was probably in half a mile. It took 30 minutes to walk to him and 30 minutes to walk out.
Yeah.
So. He had a hen with him, or that was competing with me. She was yelping and I yelled, she yelled, I yelled, and she flew up in a tree above me.
You use a call or something, or you just do it yourself?
Yeah, use a call. Whenever the hen flew in a tree above me, I run it out of the way, and it was just me and him.
Awesome.
I don't know if you ever seen one strut whenever they blow up.
Oh, look at that. The colors are crazy.
Yeah. What is it, mature, full fan?
Get you in there as well. Awesome. What's your name?
Kearney Stevens.
Kearney Stevens. Gonna be on YouTube tonight.
Cool.
If that's all right with you.
Dang right. Run it.
All right.
Out there, cuz.
That again. That's nuts. And so, sorry, you got something in your mouth there that?
It's tape with a latex stretched across there, and you breathe from your diaphragm. That's a diaphragm call.
That is crazy. So who teaches you that? Your dad teach you that? He taught you that. He's the man.
anyways, I've been driving along. I was just thinking about people have commented on Facebook and texts and things like that, or even before I left, Gord was asking me about what kind of playlists I have. Fareed commented yesterday about something I should be listening to, and I told him I was listening to podcasts all day yesterday. I usually spend, probably more than half my time listening to podcasts. So the podcasts I've been listening to are probably not everyone will find it interesting, but the BBC History podcast I think are great. And the one that's kind of fun is Richard Simmons. It's called Missing Richard Simmons. And I always thought Richard Simmons was just a nut job, and I guess I still do think he's a bit of a nut job, but I guess he just vanished off the face of the earth for, 3 or 4 years ago or something like that. And this guy has made a 6-part series podcast called Missing Richard Simmons, and it's pretty interesting just to see you find out a little bit more about the guy, and so I've got a bit more of an appreciation for that freak, and the mystery around what's happened to him is pretty interesting too. So anyways, that's that about podcasts. And as far as music goes, the thing that made me think I should talk to you about this stuff is, sometimes I sing in my helmet because you're driving for hours and hours and you need something to do, and it always sounds bizarre because your ears are kind of separated from your mouth and you can't quite hear things right. But if you put on Taco singing, what's it called? Now I've lost it. Taco, Putting on the Ritz, and you sing to that, it's perfect because you sound like you're singing on an old-timey microphone, so that's good. And I've been listening this morning to a playlist I've got called Covers that is just all cover tunes, and what people should dig out and get and listen to is Pearl Jam singing The Who's Rain Over Me. The screaming in it is just unbelievable. He's awesome. And I know everyone's heard Hey Jude probably enough for their whole life. I still love it no matter who's singing it. But if you feel like that and you want to be refreshed by Hey Jude, get your hands on Wilson Pickett singing Hey Jude, and it's just awesome. Anyways, that is the tips for what to listen to inside your giant white helmet while you drive across the continent.
This is Manatee Springs State Park on the western coast of Florida. I am hunting manatees. Well, this seems like it would be a beautiful spot to see manatees. Perfect. In my opinion, as a manatee expert, this would be the spot if there weren't so many humans here. There are a couple of, the center of that pool is quite deep, and there are a couple divers down there. You can maybe see the bubbles coming up at the center. And they've been down there for a while, so I think there may be some manatees at the bottom there, but I have not been able to see them. So.
Found one.